The envelope sat exactly where I left it, centered on the marble counter, angled toward the light. Her name in black ink, the kind that doesn't smudge. She passed it once while stirring her coffee. "Morning," I said. "MMM." She didn't look up. I watched her from the doorway, arms crossed, heart pacing. She sipped, walked out. The envelope stayed. The second time, she returned from yoga, face flushed, water bottle sweating in her hand. She tossed her keys in the dish, pulled a banana from the fruit bowl, and peeled it like she was trying not to notice anything. "It came today," I said. "What did?" She opened the fridge with her elbow. I didn't answer. She didn't press. By the time she walked past it a third time, this time in heels, already late for a dinner she hadn't told me about, I was sitting at the table, pretending to do math. "Homework. You'll lock up?" she asked, grabbing her clutch. I nodded. "Yes." She paused at the door, smoothed her skirt. "I might stay over at Leonard's." "Of course." "Okay, text if you need something." "I won't." She left. The envelope stayed. I stared at it for another hour before I moved. The seal hadn't been touched. Her name, Clara Martin, was still as bold and untouched as when I wrote it. I picked it up, held it to the light, hoping for some kind of sign. Columbia University, Office of Admissions. I slipped it into my backpack. The next morning, she was making eggs. The smell was too clean, like she was trying to impress someone. "Coffee?" she asked. "I'll make my own. Suit yourself." I waited until she turned around to put the envelope back on the counter, right next to the peppermill she never used. "You forgot your vitamins," she said, sliding the bottle across the table toward me. "I'll take them later." She sat, forked at her food. "You're quiet this morning. You're busy." She didn't answer. I pushed the envelope half an inch forward. "Something came yesterday." "Oh?" I tapped the counter. "Right there." She looked at it, just for a second. "Is it for me?" "Your name's on it." "Bills?" "Probably." She stood, rinsed her plate. "It's not." "Then what?" "Why don't you open it?" She dried her hands slowly. "If it's important, I'm sure you'll tell me." I did. A pause. Then she smiled, thin, polite, distant. "I'm meeting Leonard for brunch. You'll be okay." I stared at her. I always am. She took her keys, her sunglasses, her silence, and left again. That night I sat on the patio steps. The envelope was on my lap, unopened. I didn't need to read it again. I'd already opened the one addressed to me, the one I'd hid in my sock drawer before writing hers. Columbia. Full ride. Pre-law track. Everything I'd worked for. I held hers up, let the porch light catch the seal. Still unbroken. The door opened behind me. "I didn't know you were out here," she said. "I needed air." She sat 2 steps above me, wine glass in hand. "You've been moody. I've been focused." She sipped. "On what?" "Leaving." She laughed softly. "Don't be dramatic." "It's not dramatic if it's true." She set the glass down. "What is this about?" "The letter." "What letter?" I held it up. "This one." She squinted. "You're still on that. You never opened it." "I assumed you'd tell me if it was important." "I did." Her tone shifted. "I'm not a mind reader." "Sweetheart." "No. Just a mother." She flinched. "Barely." "Watch your tone." "I have." We sat in silence. "I didn't realize this meant so much to you," she said finally. "It doesn't. Not anymore." She reached for the envelope. I pulled it back. "Too late." "Don't be spiteful." I stood. I'm not. I'm informed. She watched me, eyes narrowed. You sound like your father. He left. I stayed. That wasn't fair. Neither is being invisible. She stood to, brushed off her dress. I'm trying, you know. To do what? To balance everything. This house. Leonard. You. I'm not part of your balancing act. You're my daughter. Then why does it feel like I'm your guest? Her face hardened. Maybe because you never let me in. I stepped back. Or maybe you never knocked. She picked up her wine. You're 17. You don't understand yet. I understand. Silence. She didn't answer. I walked past her into the house. That night, I shredded her envelope and flushed it down the toilet. Then I laid in bed, staring at the ceiling, calm for the first time in months. Asterisk asterisk, the card came in an ivory envelope with a wax seal. I thought it was another college letter until I saw the names. Leonard and Clara, in swirly gold cursive. Below it, their faces laughing, arms around each other, sunlit and smug. A vineyard behind them like some kind of dream. She didn't mention it to me. Just left it on the counter like she does with grocery coupons and dry cleaning slips. You got mail, I said when she walked in. She glanced at it. Oh, that? Isn't it beautiful? Very shiny. They sent proofs. Leonard liked the one with the grapevines. Said it looked Italian. Where's your daughter? She looked up. What? On the card. Where's your daughter? She blinked. Don't be difficult. It's a reasonable question. She walked past me to the sink. It's not about you. That's sort of the problem. She sighed. I'm not doing this right now. I held up the card. This is your second act, isn't it? The soft lighting, the new man, the vineyard future. You sound bitter. You sound rehearsed. She dried her hands, turned around slowly. Leonard is good to me. I'm sure. He listens. He cares. He makes me feel seen. I nodded. That must be nice. She paused. What do you want from me? I don't know. A sentence. Hey, I'm getting married. Maybe a photo that isn't cropped like I don't exist. You weren't cropped. You were curated. She crossed her arms. Leonard thinks you're quiet. He's observant. He wants to get to know you. I'm not sure I want to be known by someone who thought this photo was okay. He doesn't know everything yet. No, I imagine he doesn't. She picked up the card, studied it like maybe she was seeing it for the first time. You know, I never had a wedding before. You did. It was just smaller. And you were pregnant. Her jaw clenched. That wasn't a wedding. Maybe not. To you. I didn't get the dress. The guests. The photos. I want that now. I nodded. You want a version of you that erases the one that raised me. That's not fair. No, it's strategic. The front door opened. Keys jingled. Clara, a voice. Light, chipper. She straightened her blouse. In here. Leonard stepped into the kitchen, tan and soft-eyed, holding a bag of bakery bread like an offering. Hey, he said to me. I nodded. Hi. He glanced at the card. The preview arrived. Looks good, huh? Depends who's looking. He laughed. Unsure. You must be sorry. I keep getting told names, but her daughter. He extended a hand. Leonard. I didn't shake it. I know. He lowered it awkwardly. Big year for you, right? Clara says you're college-bound. Yeah. That's amazing. I barely scraped by. She didn't tell you where. He looked at her. No. Columbia. I said, his eyebrows lifted. Wow. Ivy League. That's no joke. Apparently not worth a card. He chuckled softly. Teen sarcasm. I remember those days. I'm not being sarcastic. He looked at Clara. She avoided his eyes. Well, he said, shifting. I brought bread. Great, I said. Something to chew on. He looked between us. Should I give you 2 a minute? No, I said. We're used to this. Clara spoke carefully. We're just adjusting. To what? I asked. Your fantasy. She stepped forward. To change. I looked at Leonard. Do you want kids? Sorry? In your life. Do you want kids? He rubbed his neck. I mean, if they're like you, smart, tough, I think I'd do okay. I'm not yours. I know. And I'm not in the photo. He hesitated. Do you want to be? That's not how it works. Clara raised her voice slightly. That's enough. I turned to her. No. Not yet. Leonard looked at her. Did you not tell her? Clara stiffened. Tell me what? He blanched. The weddings in Sonoma. It's kind of a small list. I laughed. Of course. She was going to tell you, he said. She never does. She shows. I didn't mean to. You didn't. She did. Clara stepped forward. This is my life. And this was my letter. He frowned. What letter? I looked at her. You didn't tell him. She was quiet. Columbia, I said. Full ride. Honors program. She left it sealed on the counter for 3 days. Leonard blinked. Seriously? She never opened it. He looked at her. Disappointed. Clara. She exhaled. I was distracted. You were rewriting yourself. She snapped. I was trying to move on. From me. From the past. I held her gaze. I'm not your past. I'm what you made. She looked away. Leonard cleared his throat. Maybe we should talk later. You already did, I said. I turned, walked out the door, and let it close behind me without a sound. Where are you going? She didn't look up from her phone. I said. I'm heading out. Be back before 10. It's already 11. She blinked once, then went back to scrolling. Okay, take a jacket. I didn't that. Dinner the next night. I left her plate in the microwave and mine untouched. When I came back an hour later, she was on the couch, wine in hand. Some romantic comedy murmuring in the background. You didn't eat. I wasn't hungry. You feeling okay? I didn't say I was sick. Okay, she didn't ask where I'd gone. I didn't offer it. This was the choreography we'd perfected, absence, disguised as peace. A week later, I got my physics midterm back. 98. I placed it by her coffee cup the next morning, and she sipped. Flipped through the pages. You missed number 12. Yeah. I fixed the formula too late. You should double check next time. That's all. She looked up. It's good. You're doing well. No congratulations. I'm not your cheerleader. No, you're not. She frowned. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Then don't say it like it does. When I was 10, I got an A on my first essay. I came home holding it like proof of something. She glanced at it, nodded, then said, Don't let it go to your head. That sentence had been replaying lately, like an old song on loop. I finally understood its meaning. Don't expect attention. You've been quiet, she said one night, reheating soup. You've been louder. She raised an eyebrow. Is that a complaint? It's an observation. Leonard thinks you're mad at me. I'm not mad. What, then? Resigned. She turned, crossed her arms. Is this about the wedding again? It's about a pattern. What pattern? Yours. God, you sound like a therapist. Someone has to be. She scoffed. You're 17, and I've spent most of those years studying you. You think I'm a case study. I think you're an example. Of what? What not to become. She stared, then laughed once sharp and humorless. You're dramatic. No. I just listen. To what? What you don't say. She turned back to the stove. You're making things bigger than they are. You make things smaller. That's the difference. She didn't notice when I skipped breakfast 3 days in a row. She didn't ask when I started walking to school instead of accepting her rides. She didn't say anything when I removed my photo from the hallway gallery and replaced it with a blank frame. I thought maybe that last one would spark something. But it didn't. The silence held. You're not eating, she said one night. Finally. Neither are you. I had a late lunch. I had a late epiphany. She set her fork down. What's going on? I stopped expecting you to notice. She flinched. Notice what? Me. That's unfair. No, it's precise. I do notice you. Like the photo you didn't replace? She glanced toward the hall. That was intentional. Of course. Why? To see if it mattered. That's childish. No. It's diagnostic. She narrowed her eyes. You're punishing me. I'm measuring you. For what? For presents. I once broke a glass in the kitchen. I was 12. She was upstairs. It shattered loudly. She never came down. I cleaned it up. Bled a little. She asked the next day why there was a band-aid on my thumb. I said, I dropped something. She said, be more careful. I was. Always. Leonard says you're distant. He's projecting. He wants to connect. Then let him. Try. You don't make it easy. You don't make it worth it. She stood. I'm not perfect, but I'm here. Physically. That's all I've got right now. Then that's all I'll expect. She stared at me. You used to want hugs. I used to think they meant something. She looked away. You think I'm cold. I think you're practiced. At what? Self-preservation. She looked back. And you? Observation. The next morning, I made her coffee. Left it steaming on the counter with a sticky note. It said, you missed my scholarship award ceremony. When I came home that night, the mug was still full. Cold. The note gone. Legacy, I realized, isn't always given. Sometimes it's absorbed. Quietly. Permanently. Asterisk. I stood outside Ms. Davenport's office with the envelope in my hands. Heart. Hammering so hard it blurred the edges of my vision. She looked up when I knocked. Oh, come and wait. Is that it? I nodded. She shut her laptop. Sit. Open it. I already did. Her eyes searched mine. And I held it out. Her hands trembled slightly as she took it. Reading. Silence. Then, oh my God. She looked up. Her mascara shimmered. Full. Ride? Yes. To Colombia. Yes. She exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for a year. You did it. I didn't smile. I couldn't yet. She stood, came around the desk, and hugged me. I'm so proud of you. I closed my eyes. That was the first time someone said it out loud. Clara was slicing cucumbers when I came in. The TV murmured in the background. I got my financial aid letter. That's so, she said, not looking up. Full ride. To where? Colombia. She nodded slowly. That's nice. That's it? She dropped the knife into the sink. I assumed we couldn't afford it anyway. It's a full ride. Tuition, housing, meals, everything. Well, then I guess it worked out. You're not even. She dried her hands. What do you want me to say? Something. She glanced at the stove. Dinner in 20. You want chicken or salmon? I stared at her. You're really going to pretend this isn't huge? It's good news. I said that. You didn't even ask how I felt. I figured you were happy. You figured wrong. She turned. I'm not going to throw a parade every time you succeed. I didn't ask for a parade. I asked for acknowledgement. She picked up the cucumbers. You got in. You got funded. You're going. Why complicate it? Because I'm leaving. And you don't care. That's not true. Then show me. She didn't. She never did. The next morning, Ms. Davenport saw me by the lockers. Did you tell her? I did. She hesitated. And she said it was nice. That's all. I nodded. Ms. Davenport's mouth tightened. That's not okay. It's expected. Still not okay. I shrugged. I'm used to quiet wins. She looked at me like she wanted to fix it. She didn't try to hug me this time. That was something at dinner. I said, I'm accepting the offer. Clara nodded. Do you need help signing anything? No. She looked relieved. That simplifies things. I'm leaving in August. I figured. I'll be living in Morningside Heights. Where's that? Manhattan, right? Silence. I pushed my plate away. Do you even want me to go? She didn't look up. It's your future. That's not an answer. It's what I have. I stood. I'll pack alone. Ms. Davenport emailed me dorm move-in tips. She asked if I needed help setting up a budget or figuring out textbooks. She sent links. Checked in. Clara forwarded me a mattress ad. Leonard asked once, how are you feeling about leaving? Prepared. Your mom said you've always been independent. She would. I think she's proud. She hasn't said. She's not good with that stuff. I noticed. The night I signed the acceptance form, I left it open on the kitchen table. Clara walked past it twice. On the third pass, she glanced at it. You submitted it 10 minutes ago. She nodded. Congratulations. I stared at her. Thanks. She went back to her phone. I folded the letter and slipped it into my backpack. That was the moment I decided. She wouldn't be part of it. Not the move. Not the visits. Not the calls. Some absences don't deserve invitations. The envelope shimmered like gilt. Gold foil edges. Cursive so ornate it looked foreign. Clara set it on the hallway table like a gift to herself. Your invite came, she said without turning. I didn't move. It's lovely, she added. Leonard picked the font. I can tell. Elegant, right? Unreadable. She paused. It's formal. I noticed. I picked it up. Heavy paper. Wax seal. No personal note. You're not opening it. You didn't open mine. That again. I placed it on the mantel. Exactly that. She sighed. You're being petty. I'm being precise. 3 days passed. She glanced at the unopened envelope each morning. Each evening. Never asked. Leonard noticed on the 4th. Did she get hers? He asked, standing in the doorway with a grocery bag. She did. And she hasn't opened it. Why? She's making a point. He looked at me. Is that true? I learn from the best. Clara threw him a warning glance. Don't get in the middle. I'm not. I just thought she'd be happy. I'm not unhappy, I said. Could have fooled me. I looked at him. You think gold foil means inclusion. He shifted. It's just a wedding. It's a revision. What does that mean? Clara cut in. Don't. No, I said. Let him hear it. Leonard put the bag down. Okay, I'm listening. This isn't about celebration, I said. It's about performance. Reinvention. He frowned. You think we're pretending. I think you're curating. He looked to Clara. She doesn't mean that. I do, I said. It's a family event. I wasn't in the last family photo. That was a casual shoot. It was staged. You weren't home. I live here. Clara stepped in. That's enough. I folded my arms. Still deciding who gets to be seen. She stiffened. You were invited. To what? To support us. No, to fill a chair. Leonard held up a hand. Look, we just wanted you there. I met his eyes. Wanting me there and seeing me are different things. He looked down. We thought you'd be excited. She's not a fan of artifice, I said. Clara snapped. Not everything's a metaphor. I turned to her. No. Sometimes it's just male. That night, I stared at the invite under the lamplight. Still sealed. Still pristine. I didn't move it. Didn't trash it. Just let it hover and silence my reply. Unspoken. The next morning, Leonard stopped me in the kitchen. Got a second? I nodded. He poured coffee. Look, I'm not trying to take her from you. You're not that powerful. I'm not trying to be. I said nothing. He exhaled. She's complicated. She's practiced. She's wounded. So am I. He studied me. You're really not coming. I met his gaze. Did you ever think I would? I hoped. Hope's not a plan. He offered a smile. That's very her of you. I walked past him. No, that's very me. Clara found me by the window the evening. You're punishing me. No, I'm answering. She walked closer. You can't ignore this forever. You did. Her voice dropped. You're being cruel. I learned. I never meant to hurt you. You didn't need to mean it. She swallowed. I want you there. Then you should have seen me before now. She looked down at her hands. He doesn't understand. No. He just mails invitations. Clara stepped forward. Please. I looked at her. Open mine first. What? The acceptance letter. Go find it. Open it. Read it. She didn't move. I waited and she turned away. That was her answer. And mine. Asterisk. I started with the housing form. Filled it out. During fourth period. Slid the confirmation into a folder Clara never touched. Next was early orientation August 6th. 8 a.m. sharp. Optional. But I marked it mandatory. Quietly. Strategically, Ms. Davenport printed the campus job postings for me. I circled 2, applied to 1. Got an offer within the week. Library assistant. 10 hours a week. Flexible. You've got it handled, she said. I don't have another option. At home. Clara was testing flower arrangements. What do you think, roses or peonies? Depends on the message you want to send. She paused. What does that mean? Peonies say you're soft. Roses say you're trying. I am trying. I know. She looked at me. You'll be here for the brunch, right? After the ceremony. I don't know yet. It's one weekend. I've got plans. Her mouth tightened. You haven't told me anything. You haven't asked. Leonard offered me a ride to the store. I'm fine, I said. Don't want anything? Just space. He leaned against the doorframe. She's nervous. You know. She should be. She wants it to be perfect. She wants it to be painless. He smiled. Same thing sometimes. I bought boxes at the pharmacy, labeled them with initials: B for bedding, C for clothes, L for life. She never noticed. Or maybe she did. Maybe it was easier not to ask. 2 nights before the wedding, she stood in the doorway to my room. "You're packed." "Mostly." "That's fast. I like to be ready." She stepped inside. "Where are you going after the brunch?" "I told you." "I don't know." She studied me. "You're already gone." "Not yet." She sat on the edge of my bed. "I thought we'd have the summer. You planned a wedding. I thought you'd be happy for me. I thought you'd notice." I wasn't. The day before the wedding, she rehearsed her vows in the living room. "Leonard, you've taught me how to feel safe again." I stood in the hallway, listening. "I didn't know I could love without fear," she said. I went back upstairs. Safety, I thought, was a privilege I'd never been offered. The morning of the ceremony, she knocked once. "I left your dress on the hanger. I'm not wearing it." She paused. "You're not coming." I was never there. At 6 a.m. the next morning, I wheeled my suitcase past the still burning candles and rose petals scattered across the kitchen island. The invite was still on the mantel, still sealed. I left it there, just like she'd left mine. The sky was clear, sharp with early heat. I heard the back door close around 9. She didn't say goodbye from upstairs. I watched her walk toward Leonard's car, veil box in hand, the satin hem of her robe brushing the steps like she was already floating down an aisle. I didn't wave. I didn't move. I folded shirts into neat rows. 2 pairs of jeans, 3. My college hoodie, untouched until now, went on top. I reached for the framed photo on my desk, me at 13, holding a debate trophy, smiling too wide. Clara had snapped it. I remembered. Or maybe I'd asked her to. I turned the frame over and packed it face down. The doorbell rang around 10. Leonard's brother. Probably. Or a florist who got the address wrong. I didn't answer. My phone buzzed. A message from Ms. Davenport. "Thinking of you today. Text me when you land." I typed, "Will do." Then put the phone on silent. Downstairs, I pulled the storage box from under the bench and filled it with the rest. Spare notebooks. My acceptance letter, still perfectly folded, still unopened by her. The kitchen was quiet. Sunlight hit the tile like a spotlight. Her heels were gone from the mat. Her favorite coffee mug was washed, dried, placed back in its corner. She'd left no trace except a sticky note on the fridge. "Don't forget to eat. Love you." I read it twice. I threw it away by noon. I'd sealed my last suitcase. The vows were probably happening then. I promised to choose you. I promised to rebuild. I promised to move forward. She'd rehearsed those lines in the bathroom mirror. I knew them by heart. Heard her practice them more times than I'd ever heard her say, "I'm proud of you." I made tea. Watched the kettle steam. No music. No background noise at 12:43. I sat on the porch steps and listened for nothing. I thought about calling her. Just once. Maybe to say congratulations. But I didn't want to hear her voice before I left. I didn't want her voice to follow me. Instead, I took the photo from the hallway, the one of us at the lake. Years ago, before Leonard, before distance. I slid it into the bottom of my backpack, under my planner. Let her see the empty space. While she said I do, I marked the day another way. I printed my class schedule. I checked my campus map. I laid out my Metro card. Every task, deliberate. Every action, mine by 3 o'clock. I was done. I zipped my suitcase and set it by the door, and turned off the lights. Asterisk. The first call came at 9:12 a.m. on a Tuesday. I watched the screen flash. Mom's cell. I let it ring. She left a voicemail. "Hey, sweetheart. Just checking in. I think we're still on Pacific time. But I woke up thinking about you. Hope the move went okay. Call me when you can." I didn't. The second one landed the next morning. Earlier. "Hi. Me again. Just realized I don't know your room number, or if you got settled in. Leonard says hi. He says congratulations again. Anyway, I hope you're not too busy to call your mother." I stared at the phone. The message transcribed itself with 2 typos and too much cheer. By day 3, she texted first, "Are you getting these?" Then called again. "Okay, not sure what's up, but I'm starting to worry. Just send a thumbs up or something. Let me know you're alive." Alive. I almost laughed. I let the voicemails pile up. 8, 10, 14 each. One gentler than the last. Then sharper. Then guilty. "You know, it's not fair to punish me. I'm trying here. At least tell me if I did something wrong." She did. I just wasn't ready to explain it to her in 50 seconds or less. Message 17 came on a Sunday night. "It's strange, not hearing your voice. The house is so quiet. I didn't expect to miss you like this." That one. I played twice. Leonard called once. I didn't answer him either. He didn't leave a message by the 20th voicemail. Her voice had shifted. "I get it. You're angry. But this silent treatment, it's not who we are." It was, though. She just hadn't noticed. The final one came on a Thursday. I opened the letter. The one from Colombia. "I'm sorry I didn't read it before. I'm sorry I didn't say more. I didn't know how much you needed." "Me too." I listened to it once. Then I hit delete. She knocked twice. Then opened the door without waiting. "You left it unlocked," she said, stepping inside like she belonged. "I know." She looked around. "It's small. It's mine." She nodded. "You always liked clean spaces." I didn't answer. She sat on the edge of my desk chair. "You're not going to hug me?" "No." Her hands folded in her lap. "I left messages. I got them. You didn't answer." I wasn't ready. She took a breath. "That's fair." I waited. "I opened the letter," she said. I looked at her. "And you got in?" "I did. Full ride." "Correct." She shook her head, quiet. "I should have said something. I should have been better. You should have been present." "I thought I was." "You thought wrong." She bit her lip. "You're angry." I was. And now, I walked to my dresser, opened the top drawer, pulled out the wedding invite, still sealed, still perfect. She stared at it. I handed it to her. She took it slowly. "I left it like that," I said. "Every day." "I see." "No, you don't. Not yet." Her fingers traced the edge. "You never opened it. Now you know what it feels like." Her eyes flicked up. "I didn't mean." "I know. I was distracted." I was dismissed. She looked down at the envelope. "This is beautiful. It's irrelevant." She set it on the desk. "You were right. I didn't come here for that." "I know. But still." I sat across from her. "Why now?" I couldn't ignore it anymore. The silence. "You." We sat in it finally level. I said vows. She murmured. But they felt incomplete. Because they were. "I missed you. You forgot me." She swallowed. "I hurt you. You erased me." She looked up, her voice cracking. "I don't know how to fix this." "You don't." Her face folded inward, not with rage, but something worse. I'm sorry. I nodded. I believe you. Does that mean? No. Tears welled. You're shutting me out. I'm showing you the door I walked through alone. She stood. I'll go. I didn't move. She reached for the invite. Can I keep this? I shook my head. It was never mine to open. She left it there, then left me. Asterisk I started with her name. Just her first dash Clara, no mom. No mother. That title didn't fit anymore. I stared at the blank page under it. The dorm was quiet. Just the radiator ticking behind me. I'm not writing to hurt you, I began. I'm writing so I don't carry this anymore. I told her about the scholarship first. It wasn't just money. It was proof. Proof that I mattered somewhere, even if I didn't matter at home. Proof that I earned a space you never noticed me standing in. I described the morning the envelope came, how I watched her walk past it. 3 times. Clara, you walked past my name like it was furniture, like it was noise. I explained why I left. The wedding invite sealed. It wasn't about revenge. It was about reflection. I wanted you to wonder how it felt. I wanted you to hold silence in your hands, like I did. I didn't ask her to apologize. I didn't ask her to write back. When you finally came to my dorm, I didn't stop you because I needed you to speak first. And you did. And you said you were sorry. I paused, then wrote, I believe you meant it. But I didn't cross out what followed. That doesn't mean it's enough. I described the way she looked when she left. How she placed the wedding invite back on the desk like it might change something that it didn't. I had already changed. This letter isn't an invitation. It's a closing statement. You don't have to fix what you broke. But I'm not stepping back into the blueprint you designed without me. I told her what I needed now. Distance. Space. Room to grow without the sound of your disappointment echoing behind me. I'm building a life that doesn't depend on your approval. That's what the scholarship means. That's what this silence has taught me. I signed it. Your daughter, for the record. I folded the pages slowly, slid them into the envelope, wrote her full name, no return address, at the mailbox. I paused only once, then I dropped it through the slot and walked away. Asterisk asterisk, the campus pulsed with noise bikes, voices, the thud of music through open dorm windows. I walked alone, no one waiting for me, no one expecting anything. For the first time, that felt like possibility, not punishment. At orientation, they gave us lanyards and forms. You lost? A girl asked, glancing at my map. No, I said. Just choosing. She smiled. That's the best part. My roommate, Jess, introduced herself with a handshake. Big on boundaries, she said. Good, I told her. Me too. She laughed. Want to split closet space now or negotiate later? I looked at the shelves. Empty and waiting. Now. Professor Adler's voice cut clean through the lecture hall. Don't raise your hand unless you have something worth saying, she warned. No one moved. She caught my eye. You. What defines freedom? I didn't hesitate. The absence of permission. She smiled faintly. You'll do fine here. Late that night, Jess tossed me a granola bar. Dinner was a bust, she said. Cough runs out of real food. By 7. Thanks. She looked at me. You don't talk much. I'm listening. Fair. In the library. I claimed a window seat, 2 floors above the noise, light cutting across the pages of my planner. No texts. No voicemails. No footsteps down the hall. I wasn't waiting anymore. Professor Adler stopped me after class. Where are you from? Know where I plan to return? She nodded once. You write like you've already left something behind. I have. Her eyes sharpened. Keep going. Jess handed me a flyer. Film club. Thursday. I don't watch movies much. You should start. I'll think about it. Don't overdo it, she said. Sometimes you just show up. The next morning, I wore my Columbia sweatshirt for the first time. No ceremony. No mirror check. Just me deciding. I stood in line at the post office, envelope in hand. It was thick, high gloss, ivory, the kind people kept or threw away. Inside, one photo, black gown, cobalt sash, gold honors cord. Me, still, calm, my chin lifted slightly, like I knew. No note, no return address, just the image, just the proof. Jess raised an eyebrow when I dropped the envelope into the bin. Family. In a way. She'll call. No. She'll care. Maybe. Jess didn't push. You look good in the photo, by the way. I earned that look. She grinned. You're intense. I'm honest. The registrar called my name last week. I crossed the stage without hesitation. No cheers from the crowd. No cell phone flash. But when Professor Adler shook my hand, she leaned in. Did you ever get your freedom? Not all of it, I said. She smiled. Good. You're still reaching. I mailed 3 other photos that day. Miss Davenport, the library supervisor, and one to myself, to the old address. The one Clara never changed, just so she'd see my name in the mailbox twice. That night, Jess poured wine into paper cups. To what's next? She said. I raised mine. To what's mine? Somewhere in a sunlit kitchen, Clara would tear open the envelope, thinking it was something official. Or maybe she'd recognize the handwriting on the label, carefully printed, not signed. She'd slide the photo out, slowly, maybe sit down. She'd see me. Not the girl she edited out of a wedding album. Not the one who'd waited for a nod, a mention, a glance. Me, full frame. Her daughter. Still. But this time, I didn't need her to see it. I'd already seen it for myself. Asterisk, 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 asterisk.